Maverick 100.9 Aggie Lands Country Alternative. It's Corliss. Get to make a new friend today, and I believe he's our neighbor. Steve Anthony is here. And if I got this correct, you live in Caldwell?
I do.
All right. Literally neighbors, so he's one of us. We count Caldwell.
You count Caldwell as a neighbor?
Yeah. I mean...
Good.
Anytime I want to go somewhere, I have to drive through there. There's no choice. So I may as well just look at it as it's one of my towns, right?
There you go. Well, now you can go through it and say, well, I know somebody over there. So.
Well, I'm so glad to finally have you on. You have released a new single to radio, and we've got to chat about it before we debut it for everybody.
Okay.
It's called Feel of Leather, which kind of sounds sexy. Am I hitting that correctly? Or is it like some cowboy stuff that went way over my head?
Well, no, it's kind of that cowboy thing. Of course, I like girls in leather pants, so if you want to smut it up, we can do that. But no, it's all about, having, riding horses and having those reins and just that feel, that, when it's you and the horse, there's a feel and, you get to know each other and, just having those leather reins, today reins, they're still made of leather, but there's a lot of alternatives now. But, in the old days, it was always, the reins that were made of leather and it was just having that feel in your hand and you felt pretty powerful, on the back of a horse with those reins. So that's kind of what that song was about, just being in control, but really not being in control because, you realize the horse is really in control. So.
Well, I'm not that familiar with horses, so I feel like already you're describing it so well to somebody who doesn't have much experience.
Yeah.
So I take it you have rode for quite some time?
Well, I used to, I don't ride much anymore. We still, now my son and I raise cattle, but we are, our horse riding is with gasoline powered now. So,
yeah.
So, those mules and I ride Yamaha. So I ride Yamaha Vikings. I believe in those a lot. So that's our horse nowadays. So
right. I feel like you and my husband would agree on that for sure. Well, I am so happy to finally get to debut this right here on Maverick for the first time. Y'all, it is Steve Anthony and Feel of Leather. Due to copyright, Brian Broadcasting is not licensed to play the single here for you in podcast form, but we do urge you to go find it on your favorite streaming and downloading services. And today's interview continues now. You just heard it here first. That was The Feel of Leather by Steve Anthony. I've got Steve joining me now, actually one of our neighbors over in Caldwell. And you're quite a worker. We were talking about the song and the feeling you get from horses and riding. And like you said, you're a farmer. You are constantly working, but also balancing a music career. How does that work?
Well, you just don't sleep a lot. So,
of course. It's like radio then.
Yeah. We're together on that for sure. Yeah. We stay up a lot,
Yeah.
It's just been something I've always, I've been playing music for a long time and I just, I wish I could say that I could just do that and that was all I did, but, and that would be a great feeling too. I'm fortunate now that I get to, we get to have music on the radio. That's kind of, that's been a dream for a long time anyway, but to have it going on now, but you just kind of got to balance that work and just, there's no weekends there, for us in the cattle business, we're 7 days a week and the music business is really the same way, there's never aren't you glad the weekend's here? Well, it's another work day, it's just another day to work.
Or wouldn't you agree? Weekends are almost busier. I've been that kind of person where sometimes I dread weekends because I know there's not a break coming to me.
Yeah.
But I'd say we both are fortunate that what we get to do at that time, at least a majority of it, is very fun.
It is, yeah. The music part of it is the enjoyable part. So that keeps us living. That keeps us going to work in the morning. So
same here. It's kind of a misconception. On radio, people think that this is what I do. The 4 hours that they listen to me is my work day, and that's not the truth at all.
No.
And I would never bend anybody's ear with the details of what I do because it's honestly very boring and very hard work.
I wish I could be like her because she only works 4 hours a day.
Right? Like, oh no. If that were the case, I wouldn't be wearing the same pants 5 days in a row.
Yeah. Well, you just got to rub. You just got to rub it in on them and tell them how good it really is.
Right. So. I'm going to keep faking it, y'all.
Don't you all wish you could be doing what I'm doing and working only 4 hours a day? So,
well, I will admit that the highlight of my day is always the music, and it is especially when I get to make a new friend. And today it was Steve Anthony. Steve, I know you're here from in the area, and you've got this brand new single, Feel of Leather. Everybody can download and stream that single now. Where do we find tour dates and stuff, and where you're playing at? Because I know you got to be close.
Well, we just really haven't been doing a lot of live shows. We've been doing some private acoustic things, and the need to put a band together is I've kind of held off on that. It's just we've been in such crazy times the last 2 years. I'd say a year and a half, really. And so we really haven't pushed the live performance a lot. And I talked to my promoter yesterday and told her that, that I think it's time now that we're going to start pushing for some shows. And I've got a couple of people already, lined up for band. And so we'll have to start thinking about, getting out there and doing some live shows here before long. But like I said, I've been doing a few acoustic things here and there, and just to be staying out there and just kind of staying local and not traveling a lot. And it's like I said, with everything, with all the COVID and all the fear going on with everybody, it's been really kind of hard, and it's hard to book shows. And for a while there was people were booking shows, and then the next thing you knew, well, this show was canceled and that show was canceled. So we just didn't want to get into any of that. And so we've, instead of doing a lot of live playing, I just been spending a lot of time in the studio. The songwriting's been going really well. And we've got, there's behind this, the stuff that's being released, the single is off of the Carrying On Tradition album. Well, there's another album that's already been released, The Cowboy Way, which is available on digital music.
Oh, wow.
And now there's another album that I'm working on that we are about 60% complete. 65%. I've got 8 songs in kind of various stages. 4 of them are pretty much mixed and ready to master. We've got a few tweaks, but 4 of them we're just kind of putting together right now. I've already, cut the basic tracks in the studio. And so, I've chose to spend, rather than going out and playing a lot right now, I've just kind of chose my time I wanted to be ahead in the studio and get a lot of music and get it down. And hopefully when I get busy and start traveling and doing some shows, then I'm way ahead. I don't have to worry about taking a break. And so I've got to take a break and go to the studio. Well, I'm staying. So I've used my time wisely. I haven't just been idle and not doing a lot. I've spent a lot of studio time. So I think I'm way ahead in that respect, that I've got so much material. We've got 3 or 4 years of singles to release just off of what's cut right now. So we're in really good shape as far as having the music available. So and there's some really good music on I like the Carrying On Tradition album. We'll probably release at least a couple of more singles. After the Feel of Leather, we'll probably release at least 2 more singles from that album. And then, then we look at the Cowboy Away album, and there's some really, really good music on that album. And then going to the new one, they always say, as your songs progress, they just get better and better. And I think that's where my music is going. I think it's progressing, and we're getting a little braver in the studio, and things are really progressing well. So I'm real excited about everything that's done. And like I said, it would have been nice to have been out playing. I miss playing live, but I've taken up that time by being studio and continuing the songwriting. So.
Yeah, everybody had to do things differently, and I do have to commend you for staying safe and taking care of yourself, and you took care of your music while you were at it. A lot of people had a lull or a dip, and instead of you going through that, you just pushed yourself forward. And I think that's something really to be proud of. And I think a lot of artists could take a page out of your notebook for sure.
Well, I hope so. Yeah, for sure.
Well, we are just more than excited for everything you've got going on. Once again, this is Steve Anthony. Make sure you keep an eye on him because there's tons of music coming out. There are albums that you can now get streaming and downloading. And of course, as time goes on, he's officially going to have a ton of music to play for you guys as well. So follow Steve Anthony. And Steve, thank you so much for coming to debut this brand new single right here on Maverick.
Well, I appreciate it so much. Thank you so much for playing it. I really appreciate it. That's without you guys in radio, we're just over here in the garage and nobody hears it. So it's really exciting, to get people on board and like yourself and get the music played on radio. And I really do appreciate it. I thank you a whole lot. So.